Hey everyone, I'm Rita Peterson with Everything Homemade, and we are going to make homemade chocolate syrup. Oh, this is so good over ice cream, over pancakes, waffles. I mean, wherever you want to use chocolate syrup over, it literally tastes so good. I'm going to make two variations. I'm going to make one using cocoa butter and one using coconut oil, because not everybody has access to cocoa butter. A lot of people do have access to coconut oil, and I'll explain why I'm using either cocoa butter or the coconut oil for their particular property. You don't want to use like olive oil or canola oil or anything like that, and I'll explain that in a moment. So this chocolate syrup has one really cool property to it. It hardens when it touches something extremely cold, like ice cream. So when it touches something cold, it will harden just like that right into place, and it's so good. That's one thing my kids really love about this chocolate syrup, is that property, because it tastes so good over ice cream, over waffles or pancakes, even on toast if you want it, or wherever you want it. It doesn't do that because the pancake or the waffle is not extremely cold, so it'll remain in syrup form. So this is a pretty cool syrup, and it's so easy to make. So before we dive right into that, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here. Subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm a cookbook author, so check out Everything Stevia and Everything Whole Wheat Sourdough cookbooks. They're available on Amazon. You can also check out the website at everything-homemade.com, and there is a more complex description on there and links to Amazon as well. The ebook is sold directly through the website, so if you want an ebook of either of the cookbooks or both of them, you can definitely purchase that right on the website. There's also other books that I write as well, and a sourdough masterclass, so everything is on the website. Definitely check that out. Okay, let's go through the ingredients, and I will explain why I pick the coconut oil in replace of the cocoa butter if you don't have that. So let's start with the coconut oil and the coconut butter right here. So I have lots of coconut butter because I do a lot of homemade chocolates, because I like to. It's fun, the kids love it, and it's super healthy when I can put all of the ingredients together myself to make chocolate, and that's why I have cocoa butter here. It's awesome, tastes delicious. If you want to buy this, go to the health food store. Some grocery stores in the natural aisle do carry it, but I know for sure the health food stores in my small city does carry it there. So you can check that out. In replace would be coconut oil. And the reason is for its properties, and it just tastes really, really good with it. The second that warm coconut oil touches something cold, it has the same properties as the cocoa butter. So that's why I'm choosing this as the replacement. And you can find coconut oil in almost any grocery store now, health food store, even Costco. Anything mainstream grocery area usually carries coconut oil. The next ingredient I'm going to be using is honey. Simple as that, honey. If you don't want to use honey, you can definitely use just white sugar. You can use coconut sugar. If you want to make this sugar-free and go with stevia, you're going to be using about 2 tablespoons of stevia extract that I show you how to make in my Everything Stevia cookbook. So definitely check that out. I actually have the recipe close to this in the stevia book. I actually add carrot powder to it, but you can, it's in the Back to Basics in the Everything Stevia cookbook, so definitely check that out. And now I have cocoa mass, which is what you might be more familiar with. It's like baker's chocolate. So this is unsweetened cocoa mass. So if you have baker's chocolate, just go with unsweetened. And then the last ingredient I have is vanilla extract, and I'm using a Mexican vanilla extract. If you are using something like an extract from like Safeway or Costco or something like that, you're gonna need a little bit more because this stuff is pretty potent. Those are the ingredients. That's all we need to make this amazing syrup. So the very first thing we need to do is cut up this cocoa mass. So I have here 2.6 ounces of cocoa mass. So I'm going to be making both recipes, one with the cocoa butter and one with the coconut oil. Same amount of cocoa mass goes into it. So I'm going to just chop this up and then we'll continue. When you're chopping it, it doesn't have to be extremely fine. It just melts a lot faster when it's in smaller pieces. So there you have it. And now let's head to the stove. Okay, the very first thing I'm going to do is put both of these pots on low heat. You do not want to do this really fast. You will end up burning something. Low heat is the key. I have 2 spoons here. So into one pot, I have 4 ounces of cocoa butter. So I'm going to put that in. And the same, I have 4 ounces of coconut oil. Okay, so I have my spoons in, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the vanilla as this is melting. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Missed one. Okay, so the other ingredients when this is melting that I like to add in is the honey. Now, I'm going to put in about that much honey. It's a really good 2 tablespoons. Like that, into that one. And then into this one, I'm gonna do the same. Just like that, so it kind of melts as everything else is melting. There you go. And then take some of this honey off. Put it there. And then a little bit of honey residue on this one. Just go into that one. And then basically just monitor it from here. You want to see it start melting, just like that. Nice and slow. You do not want anything to hit a boil. Nothing. So just nice and slow. And same with this one over here. It's starting to melt too. Now it's just patience. This can take 5 to 8 minutes. Usually I kind of am doing something else in the kitchen while I'm waiting for this to melt. So now it's just a waiting game. Okay, now that basically everything is melted, this one just has a little bit of lumps in it, but it's gonna melt very, very soon. This is when you want to add in your cocoa mass. Make sure your temperature now is to very, very low. You can even turn off the hot elements because your pot is warm enough where it's gonna melt this. So you really don't need much heat at all anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to grab my cocoa mass, put it in. And as you can see, it melts it right away. So now what I'm going to do is just exchange here for a moment. And so this is the one with the cocoa butter. As you can see, it has a little bit of a yellowish tinge because of the cocoa butter, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. remember, you can make this as sweet as you want. If you want it sweeter than I usually make it, just add some more honey in, or whatever kind of sugar you want. Just taste it, see how you like it. The sweetness of something is so personal. So go ahead, put way more in if you want. Adding more honey will not hurt anything or throw it off of proportion at all. Okay, so there you go. See, it melts it really, really quickly. And it should be nice and smooth like this. If you put this in a container in the fridge, it'll harden. All you have to do is pop it out of its container, put it in a pot, heat it up on low heat, and it'll go right back to liquid form. And then you just take this and drizzle it right over your ice cream or your waffles or your pancakes, even your toast, whatever you want to drizzle it over. Just keep stirring it until all these lumps melt, and then you got a really nice, smooth and delicious tasting chocolate syrup that is so much healthier for you than the store-bought version, and it tastes absolutely delicious. So let's just take a look at this one. And when you look at them, you can't even really tell the difference between the two. That this was coconut oil and this was cocoa butter. So thanks again for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel and check out the website at everything-homemade.com, and I'll see you on the next video.